Well, we are here with the cast of Freeform Stitchers at San Diego Comic-Con. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
And it's actually your first San Diego Comic-Con, if I'm
Baby's
not
first
mistaken.
Comic-Con, yes.
It is.
I feel like this is a group that's really excited about Comic-Con.
I'm pretty excited about
Absolutely.
it. I love seeing what.
Yeah, I don't know
you
who's the most excited, but we're all keeping it pretty contained right
Yeah,
now.
we're playing it cool.
Actually, I was going to dress as Kirsten in the full...
Please, that would have been amazing.
Good
look, man.
As long as you had like the wig and like
doing this the whole time.
loose ponytail.
Yeah, just walk around
just the
making
glass
the
keyboard on your hands.
Going with that theme of, stitching into the minds of the dead, which is, sounds creepy, but you guys make it cool. Have you guys ever thought about, what famous dead person you would want to stitch into to, see their memories?
The one that we were thinking of a couple weeks back when this question was last asked was the making of a murderer saga, and to find out what actually happened. You know?
Right,
Not necessarily see it's kind of graphic and gory as that sounds, but just to kind of get to the bottom of it because that show was so great. But you're like, well, what actually happened?
Or the nun from The Keepers.
Yeah, lots of those
Yeah, that's a good
unsolved,
cold cases.
I love that you guys are using your powers for good to solve mysteries. Not like, I want to see something tawdry.
We're so method.
You're no, we really
We've been
We're good people.
Yeah.
We're good people here.
But this season also introduced potentially the concept of maybe being able to stitch into a living person's brain. So which of your weirdo castmates would you want to follow offset and see what they're up to?
Fisher, he's just too straight, It's like, what deep, dark secret is going on in Fisher's life?
Are you talking character or are you talking actor?
Let's talk actor.
Let's talk actor. Actor, I'd say Emma.
I like that you really want to know what's going on in my life,
I
though.
do.
That's tough.
Emma?
I would say Emma.
No,
I would choose Sally.
You would choose Sally?
Yeah?
Just because, well, I mean,
Of course
she's
you'd
so,
choose Sally.
yeah.
Of course,
Number-
Tesh would choose Sally.
I think she would be the funniest, just
Yeah.
because
It's true.
she's just so off the cuff and
She's such a boss.
yeah.
True.
She gets what she
Yeah.
wants in the best way possible, and yeah, we love her for that.
Now, coming up on the show, I have seen there is a gun involved in something coming up with you guys. How worried should I be that you're just going to shoot him?
I don't know. I think I'm this
I
season's
think you should be really
punching
worried.
bag, man.
I think you should be very concerned, yeah.
I mean, you've already come back from the brink of death once.
Exactly. I don't know what I did to Jeff, but this season I get stabbed in the neck a
This is
couple
true,
times. I
and
get
people have
punched. I
been
get
tweeting
shot,
about it.
and everyone's really freaking out. And they're
People
like,
have been
"There's."
tweeting about how
They've been
Cameron,
really
every
noticing
episode,
that I'm just the writing of
I love it.
punching
Yeah.
bag.
I really
I
like
just got
it.
one of those faces you just want to hit, I guess. Thanks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun days on set,
Yeah.
Yeah.
see him get beat up.
What about you guys as a couple? What kind of Camston things can we be looking forward to in these?
A lot of Camston.
Yeah, that season's been
Camston
very
has been-
relationship heavy.
Yes.
For better or for worse. But it is definitely, I think everyone does this season.
Right.
As far as where Camston ends up, it's,
Well, I think at this
It's
point,
this.
where we're at in the season, we're not talking.
right.
Right,
We're trying to
so-
make it work for where we left off.
Yeah.
And we just kind of keep going with that struggle and trying to find the best way around
Yeah.
that. But I think that's,
making out.
There's a lot. There was
making
a
out.
lot of making out.
But that's kind of how it is for everybody this season. Like Ivy and Linus are very
Yeah.
hot and cold. Amanda and
Livy.
Camille are very
Livy,
hot
yeah.
and cold, and it's
Yeah.
just Fisher and his wife are very hot and cold. So it's
Yeah.
it's interesting that this season
That
we get
comes
to
into play a
dive
little more.
into those relationships and kind of see who they are at the heart of these characters outside of the lab. Because
yeah.
first season, second season was so much about the lab and the cases that this season
Yeah.
we get to kind of take a step back. So
But Camston keeps happening.
yeah,
You'll see more Camston.
I like that.
Camston
Yeah.
heavy.
Did I hear you say something about Fisher and his wife?
Yeah, that storyline starts to
Yeah.
play a little bit.
Yeah.
in the
Well,
next few episodes.
they're Fisher's faced with a big decision and a life-changing decision.
In 8.
In 8.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it plays out.
Life-changing decisions.
Yeah.
That is. I feel like on the show that's always really. It's like life or death.
Life or
decision.
death.
Like, there's no life-changing, just life or death.
Yeah.
You either gotta kiss him or kill him.
season 4.
And which will you be doing?
You know, that's a very good question. The whole Livy thing is obviously up in the air because we don't know where Ivy's allegiance stands.
Yes.
And that's something that we will all discover as the season goes on. And, Linus, for better or for worse, will deal with the consequences of that.